Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris Mallard, just making sure my volume levels are okay there. You never know. Good morning, everyone. I hope you've had a wonderful week so far. Today is Thursday, the day of Thor. We're going to do Thor type things, and we're going to do Thor things later. I'm planning on talking about some of the what I call the atrocities of Jesus, or at least the things he claims he's going to do in his own book. And so I thought I'd ask out today. I want to talk about it a little bit here in a bit. Then I thought, man, I'll ask my group, my peeps, my fans, my friends, if any of you know of any other examples that I should add to my list of atrocities by Jesus. We'll be back in just a minute, though. Let's check this out.
Today's world is confusing, and there's too much information for one person to make sense of it all. Which credit card should I pay off first? Is non-fat milk good for me? Who should I vote for? Let's face it, if you can't figure out high-interest milk, then how can you be expected to make political decisions that influence a country of over 325 million people? Well, that's why there's fascism. Fascism is the political, social, and economic system for today's world. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines fascism as a political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts a nation, and often race, above the individual, and that stands for a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of the opposition. Choose this ideology and life will be easy. Did you ever look at someone who uses really big words and think, I wish those libs would just disappear? Well, under fascism, your dreams can come true. Under fascism, you won't have to worry about the pesky little things like brown people or atheists, or who in your country is entitled to basic human rights and who is not. Hint, hint, the answer is nobody. Yes, friends, this truly is the final solution you've been looking for. And if you're concerned if this form of authoritarianism will be up to your high standards, don't worry. American fascism will be the best fascism in the world because it's been endorsed by Jesus. So go out and destroy freedom and democracy by getting fascism today. Paid for by the Fascio-Conservative Party, formerly known as the GOP.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great day here. I'm just pulling up some of my notes to see. You know, I've been kind of a slacker lately, and I need to get back to my reading of my chapters of the Bible. I'm currently, I think, at chapter 7 or 8 of Mark. And it's, I need to get back to it. Let's see. Dogs are God's gift, says the end is nigh. Only Jesus saves. The world is passing away for eternity. Listen, man, we do actually have rules for literally preaching in my chat. Normally, I let it slide if somebody's like giving me a point and they put something. You're just literally preaching in my chat. I'm not gonna have it. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself, to be honest. You may not realize it. You should, but you probably don't. Jesus said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So see, literally, that's the threat from Jesus. That's Jesus telling you, listen, if you don't believe me and go through me, you're going to fucking hell. Eternal damnation, whatever you think, you're never going to get to heaven. You're never going to meet the Father unless you do what I say. That's the threat of Jesus Christ right there. They say it like it's a good thing, but it's actually a threat. It's a subtle threat saying, do what I say. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. If you don't go to Jesus, you're going to burn. It makes it sound pretty. I am the way, the truth, and the light. The light actually being you being set on fire in hell for eternity. Just thought I'd point that out. Let's see here. Good morning. Interesting question. Interesting to me. Moros, can I ask you a question? Yes, I guess you could try. Do you value your faith or what's true more? You talking to me? You ain't talking to me, are you? Faith is something that people who want you to believe ignorant, ridiculous shit convince you is a good thing. Oh, faith is so wonderful. It's holy and mighty, because faith is essentially your willingness to believe things that aren't true. Yeah. Now, we could go on to the whole, do you have faith in your science and all that business? Yes, I guess to a degree I do. I don't think we'd call it the same kind of faith. You know, mine's reliable faith. Yours is not reliable faith. Whenever we talk about religious faith, we're talking about the kind of faith where you have to set aside your reason to believe this shit because it's so fucking crazy. For example, you have to have faith that a man was born so he could die for you and then rise from the dead and go back up to heaven so you could. I mean, that's faith. That's all crazy. It's just fucking crazy talk. That's not something you could. Now, when I say I have faith in my science, I have faith in my science. I have faith that if I reach over there, faith, like I said, may not exactly be the right word, but we use it. You know, I have faith that if I reach over here and I turn off these lights, they'll go off. Watch. Oopsers, look how my faith works. My faith seems to work, you know, fairly reliably. How about yours? How you doing? I tell you what, Christian, why don't you go ahead and pray your little ass off and see if you can turn my lights back off there for me. We'll see how that goes for you. I'm sorry, no, Morris. Man, I tell you, you never know. Some people come at us. You know how it is, brother. You know how it is. You never know when the questions. Let's see. Well, it is true that we have to obey because disobedience is sin, but it is a fact that you are either saved or burned. See how disgusting your God is? And even you know it. Dogs are God's gift. Even you know it. You know how disgusting your God is. It says so right here. Really, the only thing you have to do is essentially obey, right? And if you don't obey, that's the only thing you have to do in order to burn. So, I mean, technically, billions of people are going to burn. Your God creature just loves burning people, doesn't it? I mean, I guess you just never really think, hey, good morning, Jason Tester. Jesus saves from what? What does Jesus save you from? From God? Man, why do we have to have this conversation so often? I mean, by the same people even. Like, you don't know already? You don't know. I mean, if you say Jesus is king, I'm going to go, fuck. Jesus was never king. He never had an army. Never levied taxes. He never did any of those things that you would do. He never had a throne. Nobody ever called him king. Somebody tried to call him king in Mark chapter 6 or John chapter 6. And he said no and ran away to the mountains. Whenever he was labeled a king, it was as an insult by the man who put him on a cross as a king of the Jews. And yet you come in here and go, Jesus is king. And then we go through this whole thing. I'm like, listen, dude, this is the whole scenario. You're really just essentially repeating an insult. And Jesus, and they're like, you're king in the afterlife. And I'm like, oh, fucking, all right, fine. We are saved from the wrath we deserve for sin. But man, that's the whole deal. Dogs are God's gift. What is sin? Imagine I live a perfectly good, normal, holy life, and the only thing I do not do is believe in Jesus or go through Jesus to get. That's all. Otherwise, I'm a perfectly good people. I heal, I give, I donate, I do everything. And the only thing, that's my sin, that's worthy of burning for eternity. Right? That's what you're saying. The sin. And the only sin required is to not believe in your God creature. So a person can be wonderful. And you make it sound as though we deserve for sin, as if, you know, like this, everybody has done horrible things that we need to be punished by. I mean, are you like a sub or something? Or like a not a good one that where you beat yourself or some shit? I don't know. But this whole notion that we don't deserve and that we're shitty and that we deserve for our sin. Really? Again, the only thing sin is doing anything your God creature doesn't like. Anything. That's it. So. Silva Fett asks Mark 14:51 and 52, why was Jesus with a naked boy? That's a great question. Notice how they never talk about Jesus being with a mostly naked woman. I don't know why that is. Then you would enter heaven because Jesus came to save sinners. If you were perfect, then you wouldn't go to hell. No. You're not listening to me. You're not listening to your own words. You're saying I would enter heaven if I were, because Jesus came to save sinners. If you were perfect, then you wouldn't go to hell. No, you're wrong. I would go to hell because I'm not perfect in the one characteristic, the one factor, in that I don't go through Jesus to get to God, and I go to hell, dude. You're not listening to your own messages. Do you not know what you're saying? Those who sin. What is a sin? Anybody who does anything that God creature doesn't like. So it doesn't matter how wonderful, how loving, how peaceful, how kind you are. It does not matter. When Jesus comes back in Matthew, like he says in Matthew, and slaughters all of the wicked and sinful, he's going to be slaughtering people who are good, kind, gentle, loving people whose sole sin would be to not believe in him the way he wants to. And remember, not all Christians go. Remember, Jesus says the way to hell is wide, the heaven is narrow, the road to heaven is narrow. Not all who call my name will be answered. So even all Christians won't go. Nope. But Jesus is going to come back and murder all the Jews and all the Muslims and a good hunk of the Christians. Your Jesus is going to do that. You cool with that? Of course, that's what they get for the sin, right? That's what they deserve for the sin, the wicked sin of just not believing your ignorant bullshit. That's it. Just, I don't believe in your God creature. Otherwise, I'm a pretty decent person. But I'm going to come back, and your angels are going to come back, and your God creature is going to come back and slaughter me and put me into a pit of fire, a furnace of fire. Right? Merciful, loving Lamb. Jesus would never do that. Yeah. Oh, let's see here. Man, I got a lot of them in Matthew. I think it's Matthew, like high up there, isn't it? It's been a while. It's been like since last week since I talked about it. Yeah, there's talking about hell. In fact, then he will say to you, "Depart from me," blah 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 blah. Let me go up here. My little search button works better. Uh-oh, it's gone. There it is. No, it isn't. I fucking hate my notes. I'm a smart man. I know smart things. Don't worry, Christians. I'll do that for you. I'll mock myself. Listen, it's Matthew chapter 13. The Son of Man, that's Jesus. I don't know if you knew that or not. Jesus, the Son of Man, will send out his angels, and they will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. The only thing that causes sin and evil is the lack of belief in your God creatures. That is the only thing. You yourself said it. In your own chat, you said the only way to get to the Father is through Jesus. If you don't go through Jesus, no matter how good you are sin and you are wicked, and you're going to fucking get killed by Jesus. Jesus and his angels. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. They will throw them into the blazing furnace where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Jesus and his angels burning billions of people like fucking Hitler by burning them in a furnace. Right there in Matthew. And you know who's saying this, right? You know whose words, whose mouth this is coming out of? That's Jesus talking. That's Jesus talking how he's going to come back and commit an atrocity the likes this world has never seen. He even says somewhere else in the book real quick, I don't know where it's at, but he says, those people who suffered during Sodom and Gomorrah had it fucking easy compared to what I'm going to bring to you. Loving, merciful, kind, forgiving, understanding, wise, my ass. Adrian Belgrade, man, it's been a day or three since I've seen you. I hope everything is going wonderful in your world. Okay, dogs are God's gift. Here's the deal. I'm going to do this for you. I want to do this. If you have sinned even once, then you are evil, according to dogs are God's gift. We are all evil because we all have sinned. Correct. According to your mythos, that's where we go. Yeah, we have all sinned. Except for the fact that when your God creature returns in Revelation, we are all evil and we are all sinful, except some of us have been given a pass because we believe in Jesus Christ the right way. The rest of us are going to be murdered in furnaces, according to Jesus' own lips. Billions of people screaming as they're huddled into furnaces for nothing more than not believing the right way. So even Christians. You know, there's a shit ton of Christians out there. And can you imagine? It's going to be Jesus and his angels coming back, and he looks down on the world and he's, all right, you bastards, all you Muslims, you're fixing to be hugged. All you Jews, you're going to be, all you atheists, you're going to go into this fire pit. All you people, you're going to go to this pit. And Christians, only the Calvinists were right. All the rest of you fuckers are going to burn. Let's start burning. Let's get those fire pits going. Fire it up, right? I mean, even Jesus says, not all of you bastards who follow me are going to get in. So everybody who's not a Christian and a good hunk of you Christians, Jesus himself. Then he says it again, Matthew 13, 47, 50. Once again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net, blah, 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 blah. This is how it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them into the burning furnace where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Merciful, loving. And who is it? The people, these are angels. These are angels, not throwing demons, not throwing Satan and his minions, none of that business. These are people. This is a Muslim mother and her 13-year-old daughter. They're being, by angels, tossed into a furnace of fire. Can you not read that yourself? Do you need to have a smart person read that to you and explain to you what Jesus himself is going to do? I can wait if you need that. Breeze asks, are you mentally challenged? Why? Why would you think I'm mentally challenged? Did you not read you heard what I read? All right, check it out, Breeze. Breeze, check it out. Listen to my words, okay? In Matthew, and go read it yourself. Don't trust me. I'm just some jackass on the internet. Apparently, I'm not okay, and I'm having mental issues, according to you. Go check it out. Go read what I said. Go read Matthew 13. Go read the whole chapter. Take it in context. Jesus's lips, out of Jesus's lips, in Matthew 13, 41 and 42, he says the Son of Man, which is him. He calls himself the Son of Man all the time. Will send out his angels. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. Am I taking anything out of context there? So anybody who does evil or who causes sin, anybody that they dislike that has not worked out correctly for them is going to burn. And then we're talking billions of people here. Billions with a B. Am I wrong, my friend? Am I wrong? So here's the thinking. If you're not a Christian, you're automatically cha-ching going to be thrown into the blazing furnace where there'll be weeping. And let me read the whole thing to you. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. They will throw them like Hitler did to the Jews into the blazing furnace where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay, so the Son of Man and his angels are going to come out and weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin. All the Muslims, all the Jews, all the atheists, everybody that is a Christian, and most of the Christians, right? Am I wrong? Jesus himself said the way is narrow. Not everybody who calls my name will be answered, right? So not even every Christian is going to be answered. So we're talking literally in Matthew 13:41, Jesus himself is saying someday he's going to come back and murder billions of people by throwing them essentially into fire. And that's cool with you. Am I wrong? You go around, you're like, oh, Jesus is love and mercy, and he's all these things, but he's really not. He's so not. These are some of the things that talk about. He's the lamb that comes back and steps on the winepress that flows blood the height of a bridle and 160 miles in circumference. Go read Revelation. The blood. I mean, you don't know about what your own Jesus is. Am I okay? Are you okay? Are you a believer in this crap? You believe this shit? Really? I mean, it's like there's the ones that, you know, because most of you have been lied to. Your pastor doesn't really go off on this. When they do go off on this, it really is, it's more of a threat. Don't be one of the wicked and sinful because they're going to come back and do this horrible thing in there. But they don't ever actually stop and tell you, hey, look at it in context. Jesus is going to come back and commit an atrocity that we would write fucking horror stories about. They don't tell you, they don't put it like that. But that's really, when you read it, that's what it is. And of course, I'm taking it out of context, please. I'm sure I am. You go read it yourself, chapter 13 of Matthew. Then go down further where it says, once again, he repeats himself. Then they sat down and collected the fish and threw the bad ones away. This is how it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous, my friend. Billions of people. And throw them into the blazing furnace. Billions of people thrown into a blazing furnace by angels. Not demons, not warriors of Satan, not people who could actually defend themselves. No, this is defenseless. I mean, when we're talking about angels against humans, we're talking about, I mean, just there's no, based on what your own notion of an angel is. I mean, the angel could just waltz in here. I could have a machine gun, a machete, a sword, and all this. I could just blow it all out, and it would do nothing to the angel because it has the power of the Holy Lord. And it could just raise it. So it could just, with its voice, go, bah, and turn me into nothing and dust. What kind of fight is that? Is that merciful? Would you back that fight? Huh? Is that what you do? Oh, yeah. Get them, angels. Get them. Boy, you sure are holy and loving. the fuck do you, I mean, the problem is people don't explain it to you. They just don't explain it to you. Go read it yourself. What do you think is this supposed to happen? How's this going to go down? I'm really, if it actually were to happen, Jesus himself in Matthew telling you he's going to come back and murder billions of people in a furnace. You're okay with that. You're cool with that because those people are sinful and wicked. Yes, they're bad people. Bad people whose only sin is that they didn't believe in God. That's the only one required. No matter what other sins stain their soul, the only one required is that they don't believe in the God creature. Merciful, loving, forgiving. Interesting. Hideous, actually. Hideous, because humans, let's see, we have some interesting names here. Jaden Fowler, good morning. Pretty much every atrocity committed by the church was under theocracy by people who believed that their specific church was infallible. Instead of believing Jesus, they believe themselves. That's weird, isn't it? That you would actually, I mean, I find it so strange that Christians will come in here and go, oh, they're doing it wrong. They're being religious Christians. They're not worshiping Jesus. They're not listening to his, I mean, all these things that just equivocate the fact that your religion is fucking shit. It is disgusting, and it has been for thousands of years, 2,000 years. Really more like 1,500. I don't think it's all that bad in the beginning, but really it's pretty shitty. I mean, we've got witch trials. We've got stories in the 1700s, 1800s of them dipping women into rivers. Have you heard of that? Where they'd put them on the thing and they'd dip them in a river, or they'd dump them into a river. And if they floated, well, the Satan was helping them float. If they sank, well, they weren't in league with Lucifer, and they died and went to heaven. So either way, you know, the church has done horrific things. And you believe just horrific things. So let's see. Then you would enter heaven because, yeah, it's just crazy. Let me go here. Chupi 7777. Also believing God is different than believing that God exists. Pistis in Greek is more about trust. And it's really interesting, isn't it? Don't you guys think it's fascinating that, I mean, believe in God. Oh, okay. Done. I believe in God now. Does it work like that? Maybe it does for some people. The simple-minded. But I mean, to listen to the Christians say it, all I got to do is go, oh yeah, I'm a Christian now. I believe. Yeah, praise the Lord. And I'm saved. That's it. That's all it takes. But Jesus knows your mind and your heart, doesn't he? So if you're just faking it, isn't he going to know that and burn you anyway? Oh, maybe those are some of the ones who, all those who call my name will not be answered. Anyway. Let's see. Chupi, did I read the comment? Let me come over here and see what I didn't read all the comments. As you probably noticed, I was kind of rambling a little bit. I do that. I try to catch some of them. Let's go here. Chupi said, of course, Jesus is merciful, but if you live in evil, what is he supposed to do? Do you want murderers and rapists running around forever? Asks this person. No, see, that's the whole business. See, you're not listening. You're missing the whole point. They don't have to be murderers. They don't have to be rapists, do they? They don't. No. You are wrong. The only thing that Jesus requires is that you love him and go through him to get to God. If you don't do that, it doesn't matter how good a person you are. You don't have to be a rapist. You don't have to be a murderer. That's bullshit. That's a fucking lie. You're either a liar or you're ignorant. You want me to read the rest of the comment now? That's how I feel about it, because you know that's all it takes. Anything evil is just not believing in God. Anything sinful is not believing in what God creature wants you to do or doesn't want you to do. That's all it takes. And the only sin required in order for Jesus to turn his back on you and to burn you forever is to go, you know what? I love God, but I don't actually want to go through you, Jesus. That's it. Done. Burnt forever. Or it even gets worse. I want to love God. I'm going to go through you, Jesus. But Jesus is like, oh, wait. You did it without your left hand up, so you're doing it wrong, therefore you're going to... You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, man. It's just hideous. It's all hideous. Let me see here in the chat. Let me finish reading your thing. Also, believing God is different than believing that God exists. That's true. I mean, believing God would be like, I believe in my brother that he can do the thing, that he can climb that mountain. That's different than believing that my brother exists. #truth. Pistis in Greek is more about trust and allegiance rather than intellectual assent. Did you read the comment? Well, I don't. Yeah. Okay. So there's my deal. Jesus is not merciful. He's not merciful at all. First of all, did you miss the entire first half of my show? Well, I guess we're not even done with the first half, where I literally took Jesus's words, where he tells you he's going to murder men, women, and children by the billions. Mercy? Did you not read that? All right. Why don't you, Choopy, go, type in for me the verse. Matthew, it's Matthew 13, 41 and 42. Tap that in the chat and say, this is the verse where Jesus commits atrocities against all of humankind. Can you do that for me? I mean, it's what it does. Jesus is actually telling you he's going to come back and kill billions of people for nothing more than just not believing in him or not going through God through him properly, right? Am I wrong? Am I taking out of context? Am I lying? Where's the mercy in that, my friend? I mean, only if you believe in Jesus, then do you get the mercy, right? That's the only time. Isn't that like a protection racket? Do you not see that your entire religion is essentially a protection racket? Hey, man, if you don't pay me, the big guy is going to come down on you hard. You got to come on and give me the money, because if you don't give me the money and the worship, the big guy, man, you got to watch out for the big guy. I'm all about love and peace, man, but the big guy, he's tough. Don't you know what you're dealing with? You do know what your religion is about, don't you? Have you not seen it on TV or something? Who's Jesus protecting you from? Wait a second. Jesus is God. So if Jesus is God, then Jesus is your savior from him. He's saving you from him. Is that not right? Is that not right? Jesus is saving you from himself. He's your savior. That's like saying, that's like a very abusive relationship. Like a husband who beats your wife and you keep going, no, but he's the man of the house. He provides for you. He takes care of you. He keeps you from the rain. He puts a roof over your head. I know he beats you every day, but that's okay because he puts a roof over your head, right? He loves you. He tells you he loves you while he's beating you. Let's see. Dang 4167. Jesus is the Son of God, not the Son of God. That's right. So Jesus said, God says, you're my son. He doesn't say you are me. He says, you're my son. God literally addresses Jesus as son. Not as me, not as myself and my none of that business. He only belittles people. No, I don't just belittle people. I also belittle people. Kind of, yeah. Well, come on, man. Look at what you believe and look how many of you people hurt other people based on what you believe. Yeah, I think you should have been mocked a long time ago. Yeah, you should be ashamed for believing this shit in public. I really think so. I mean, again, it would be one thing if you simply believed and you didn't hurt other people, but you love hurting other people. It's like Christian mantra. So here I am. Let's go here. God is a title. This guy does not love. See, DCJL, how ignorant are you? Really? I don't know love. Go read the fucking Bible. Have you not read the Bible? Go read the Bible. Your God creature does not know love. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's just exactly like what I described to you just a minute ago. It is. It's like an abusive husband or father who's going, I love you. Take it. Like the dad. I love you. I love you. You're my wonderful child. I love you. I'm the best father you'll ever fucking have. I treat you so good. You're unworthy. You're a piece of shit. Tell me I'm a good dad. Tell me I'm a good... What? You're not telling me I'm a good dad? Fuck you. Fuck you. Tell me I'm... This is literally the conversation between you and God. Is it not? How is it not? It's an abusive relationship. Absolutely 100%. God never hit me. Wait. God never hit you? Is that what you're saying? DC, I'm actually an adoptive father. I adopted my son. How do you feel about that? Are you one of those out there riding the don't abortion bad thing, but you haven't adopted any children yet? Not that that's why I did it, but Listen, wait. No. See, that's the whole thing. Listen, you're saying, I don't know what it's like to be a father. Your idea of a father being a good father is perpetually, eternally tormenting his own children for simply lacking in believing in him. It's like, again, let me use the analogy. My child comes home from school. I'm like, listen, kid, I know you don't believe me, but when I was in high school, I was the best quarterback in the entire league. And the kids say, you know what? I don't believe you. And I'm like, oh, really? You don't believe me? You know I'm real. You know I'm here, but you don't believe that all right, so let me just grab my son and drag my son out in the backyard and drop him in the swimming pool and put gasoline in there and light that on fire. And that's moral by you. That's what you do as a parent. That's okay by you. Your God creature burning you for nothing more than not believing in some bullshit story. That's a good father by you. It's Christians. Aren't the Christians one known for abandoning their children because their children are gay or trans or some of that business? That's you, right? That's you guys on your side. It's the secular humanists on my side who are actually the ones who make the sign saying, listen, Christian and theist children, when your parents abandon you because you are gay, come over here and we'll take care of you and we'll give you the family you need. That's us, right? And you're the bitches that do this harmful thing to your own children. That's right? And you're going to give me shit? I think you're in the wrong chat. You need to be in a Christian chat on a Christian show telling them how they should be Christians. Because, I mean, we have the moral high ground here. Sorry, we just really do. You probably wouldn't think so, though, because you're Jesus Christ. Sin had to be destroyed. That is what God thinks of sin. That's the whole deal. What is sin? Sin had to be destroyed? Fuck me. Sin is an opinion. That's what sin is. It's an opinion. It's not something you can destroy. Do you know what that means? Does that make sense to you at all? Sin is something that is the opinion of God creature. Right? If God says it's a sin for me to drink coffee, it's a sin for me to drink coffee, correct? Because if it's the opinion of God creature. Am I wrong? So how do you destroy sin if sin is merely the opinion of your God? How do you do that? It's your God's opinion that is what creates sin. If it weren't for that, there would be no sin. And your God creature's idea of sin varies from person to person, to church, from religion to bloody religion. Interesting. Let's see here. And a lot of it, man, I tell you, that Choopy, the chat just goes by so fast I can't hardly keep up. I try to occasionally. Sometimes I'm like, let's see, I'm saying intellectual assent and saying I believe in God is not enough. Jesus is the truth. Now you're just rattling. I don't even care what you're talking about now. Blah, blah, blah. Jesus is the truth. Yeah, according to Jesus, I guess, probably so. Scott. Good morning, Scott, the God creature that doesn't exist. That's right. The God creature that doesn't exist. Truthful. True. Christians are horrific. Really, that's the whole deal. Here's the deal. Listen, I'm a secular humanist, and I mean, listen, if you've watched the show for any amount of time, you've probably seen me to apologize to somebody here in the chat. I've apologized to my fellow co-hosts, and I've gone, man, oh, dude, I was wrong. Sorry, And from where I was raised, my moral set, whenever I do wrong, I'm usually compelled to right the people I have wronged, apologize them, and do anything I can to right my relationship with them and make it right. That's how I'm compelled as a secular humanist. As a Christian, I don't have to do shit for you. I came over and I I kicked your dog and I fucked your wife and I beat up your daughter and I turned your son gay. And I don't have to do none of that. I don't have to undo any of those horrific things that you think are horrific. I don't have to do nothing of that. All I got to do is go home and go, Jesus, I was bad. Will you forgive me? Who's more moral here? You, who feels like you can do pretty much anything, and the only thing you have to do to absolve yourself of that immoral act is to ask your imaginary friend for forgiveness, or me, who by my moral standards usually has me go recompense to the people I've harmed. Of course, you're going to say you, right? Of course. And isn't that kind of funny? That is funny. Secular feelings, thank you for doing this. The power of basic decency compels you. I'm actually working on a commercial. Because I do use the AI. Me and the AI have been fighting. Oh gosh, I'm not very good at it. But I'm working on a commercial. And basically, it's a commercial for the Father Flanagan's self-inflating cross. And the deal is whenever you, my Christian friend, are out in the world and you see somebody that is, offensive to God and sinful, living in sin, and you go up there and you try to make sure they know that they're bad and they're living in sin and they're wicked, and you should be allowed to just berate anybody anywhere and tell them how horrific they are. But occasionally somebody like a store manager or maybe, I don't know, a police officer come up and they will stop you from treating other people like shit in the name of your religion. And so Father Flanagan has come up with the inflatable cross. So at that point, whenever somebody comes up and stops you from imposing your bullshit on other people and hurting them, then you can flip out your inflatable cross and climb up on it and pretend that you're the one being oppressed. That's right. Christians like to be the ones doing the oppressing and claiming they're the ones being oppressed. Father Flanagan's inflatable cross coming to a Walmart near you. You guys are fantastic. All you wonderful people. All he said to Jesus on the cross, remember me. One of the things I think is fascinating is the different stories of what Jesus said on the cross. Allegedly, his last words. Remember, check this one out, man. Just work with me here. Friends, both sides of the fence, just work with me here. Jesus, in one of the instances, says, "It is done." Right? Isn't that what he said? And the other one, another time, he said, "Why hast thou forsaken me?" But let's start with the "it is done" thing, right? So let's look at the overall story of what happens with Jesus. So you're sitting in heaven. And you're God yourself, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go down to earth myself in human form for about 33 years, and then I'm going to get myself tortured, and then I'm going to rise from the dead, then I'm going to die. See, that's the hard part. And then I'll rise from the dead, and I'll come back to heaven. So 30 years in the desert, then I get put up on a cross, and then, man, that sounds like that's a pretty shit life. You're going from being in heaven on the throne of heaven to being 33 years later back in heaven. You're back in heaven. It's like, but it's a really shitty 33 years, don't you think? You're born out in the middle of the freaking desert. You got to run from place to place to place. You're wearing sandals all the time. You're eating grasshoppers, that sort of shit. It's a really shit life. And then finally, whenever they're putting you on the cross and you're about to die, you know what? You're like, fuck, I'm finally getting to go back to my home, my place. It is done. Right. That makes a lot of sense. Doesn't that make more sense? Why didn't he say, I am now fulfilling the promise to give my life for all of mankind's souls, for they could be forgiven? Why didn't he say something like that? He's God, right? Couldn't he have? Anyway, that's kind of the thing. Yeah, sure, it's done, bitches. I'm out. That's what I'd say too. It's done. I'm gone. Now, the other way where he said, why hast thou forsaken me? Wait a second. Oh, let's ponder on that one for my friends. Let's ponder on that one for a moment. Jesus said, why hast thou forsaken me? First of all, is he speaking to himself then? If Jesus is God, then he's asking himself, why have you forsaken me? Isn't that a little weird? Also, why would Jesus think he had been forsaken? Wasn't that the plan the whole time? In neither case, all three technically, when you count the two as the same, in none of those cases does it sound like Jesus was actually fulfilling whatever sacrificial promise the Christians claim he was making. does it? And, there were a couple times, Jesus died for your sins. It's very sad. Hold on a second. I got this one. I don't really see where this was going. So according to your logic, you won't listen to Beethoven because the orchestra plays him bad. Well, yeah. Yes, if the orchestra sucks, I would not listen to the orchestra. I'm a content creator, and I know one thing about a lot of stuff is that sound is devastating. You can do a really shitty video, a music video, whatever. You can have like horrible video and just crap on the screen. And if the sound is good, people will listen. But if it's beautiful on the screen and the sound is bad, people are going to bounce. Yeah, absolutely. I don't even know what your point you're trying to make. I guess you're saying because the words that are coming from the church are not as pure and holy as the word that Jesus, like the music that was written by Beethoven is not played as well by the group. Okay, I totally get that. You would think, though, as a Jesus creature, that it would be possible, wouldn't you? That it's not even the same thing. This is like a musical composer and a bunch of people who've trained all their lives to do a thing. Jesus, the analogy is like God, right? It's like God. You would think that his words would carry more weight and be more immutable than Beethoven's, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? But no, it's not. It's so mutable, in fact. It is so, there's so many different, how many is it? 40,000 different versions of Christianity. That's right. You have objective truth to the tune of 40,000 different objective truth givers. Fascinating. Well, let's do this. What should we do? Let's do this one here.
Finnegan!
Yes, sir. Very disturbing, I know.
Fetch me Father Finnegan.
Your Highness.
You are in the presence of His Holiness, the Populous Maximus, guardian of the sacred fire hydrant, defender of the holy tennis ball, and eater of the golden kibble, Pop Oliver Puxala the Fifth.
Your popedom. I heard you have a bone to pick with me.
Condoms, Father Finnegan?
No, thank you. I've got plenty.
That's what I mean. Why are you selling condoms?
Oh, you mean our Pharaoh Sombrero line of condoms. Understood.
You know how we feel about those around here.
Well, they're not to be used by the Catholics, of course.
Not for Catholics?
No, they're part of our Sinner Gonna Sin lack of faith outreach program.
A sinner gonna what?
It's like getting the tithe, but from the heretics and the heathens and the atheists.
Oh, well, when you put it like that.
But, Your Highness, this will reflect very poorly on the church.
True. You know what this means, Flanagan?
Warning label. A warning label on the box. Not for Catholics in big letters.
Too subtle.
Instant purgatory if used by Catholics.
I like it. Divine branding.
Excellent, your popedom. Will there be anything else?
That will be all. You may leave.
All right, so here we go. Let's go back up here. So again, we're going to DCLJ. So you blame Beethoven when the orchestra plays him bad. Again, you just post that again. No, we don't. It's like you weren't listening. We don't blame Beethoven. That's not what we said. I said if an orchestra plays Beethoven poorly, I go somewhere else. Beethoven's work is really good. If it's played well, I go there and I listen. That's not what you said is a misrepresentation of what I said. But what I did say was that your God creature and his message should be more clear, more strong, and more unchangeable and more understandable than Beethoven. You know, only people who've studied music for years can play Beethoven just by sight and reading it. You know that, right? It takes a lot of effort. Jesus's words should be so much clearer, but they're not. It's so not. It's so, like, again, 40,000 different varieties of your own religion. That's the evidence that I have that it's not. And you want to claim objective morality? Oh, yes, we have objective morality, but fuck, 40,000. It's not objective. That's very subjective. You subjectively choose. Good morning, Sean Alexander. Thank you for throwing the coin at me. Very much appreciate that. When you have 40,000 denominations, all claiming to know different truths, you don't have the truth. You have 40,000 different cults. And that's the deal. Most of them, if not all, most of them, I'm not going to say all of them, most of them claim all the other ones are doing it wrong. They're not real Christians. How many times have you in here heard not real Christians? They're not real Christians. How many times have you heard that in this chat? Or how many times have you heard, oh, well, there's Christians out there that follow the religion, not the words of Jesus? Well, how do you even learn the words of Jesus if you don't follow the religion? That's where they study the books and you learn things. I mean, it's just ridiculous to try to separate the two. It's cowardly. But they know their religion is disgusting and hideous. So they try to separate their Jesus from the religion. Jesus, you know, again, the guy who said, he's going to come back and kill billions of people. The same guy who said, pluck out your eye if it is sinned. If your eye has caused you to sin, pluck it out. The same guy who said, you cannot follow me if you don't hate your family. How many families has that destroyed? You know, there's just so many things that Jesus has done that were horrific. You know, this is also the same guy, Jesus, right? You're talking about Jesus. Jesus the magician. You know, the same guy who spit in some dirt and rubbed it in a guy's eye. And it took 2 attempts before he could heal him. 2 attempts. Isn't that interesting? Let's see. Secular feelinist, the power of basic decency compels you. That's kind of where I was going earlier. It's like being a decent human being is offensive to Christians because, you know, I mean, you can't oppress gays, you can't oppress women, you can't oppress trans people. They're like, oh, I'm being offended, I'm being oppressed. Vessi say you base your beliefs on your own brain. Hilarious. Yeah, it's actually, I think, pretty smart, really, to base my beliefs on my own brain. Yeah, I think it's kind of stupid for you to say that. It's actually stupid for you to make fun of that. Don't you think? You don't think so? You probably don't. I suspect you don't think a lot or often. But what do you know? You know, I mean, what do you base your beliefs on? God? Really? God, huh? Does he like commune with you? Every decision you make, you run off to your God creature and you don't use your own brain for it? Huh. Interesting. Dang 4160 says, what's the nature of evil? The nature of evil is whatever God doesn't like. If God thinks something is bad and ugly, then it is evil. It's sinful and evil. Is that wrong? I think that's a pretty good assessment. I'll work on something here. Before I do, though, I want to say hi to Kelly Shearer. Good morning, Kelly Shearer. Thank you for joining us. So God, if God tells you to do something and that it is good, no matter what it is, it's good. So is killing pregnant women evil? If God tells you to do it, is it evil? If God tells you to slaughter children, is it evil or is it good? How does that work out for you? When God told Moses to take out the Amalekites or the Canaanites, I don't remember which one, I think it's the Amalekites, slaughter every man, male child, and every woman who's known a man. That includes pregnant women. And keep the virgin daughters or virgin girls for yourselves as sex slaves. To me, I would see all of those things as being evil. Would you not? Would you not? But that was a commandment by God to Moses. Therefore, it should not be evil. Am I right? So since God told Moses to murder pregnant women by the sword, in that instance, at least, it was not evil. Correct, Christians? Yeah, see, Vesius says, you think I'm the one that doesn't understand it. Sure, I'm the one that doesn't understand it. I think I understand it quite well. You're the one that doesn't want to hear the truth. You don't want to hear the truth. You're going, no, you're not listening. You're not taking it out of context. You're wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm not. You're welcome to go look, though. Continue to ignore it. But let's see. And again, the nature of evil. Whatever your God creature doesn't like. So again, back to the point. God told Moses to murder children. Is that evil? Read the Bible and you will understand man has free will. Actually, you read the Bible and you will understand man does not have free will. Throughout the Old Testament, God creature forces himself on people on pain of death and threat, whether it be, just literally coming down and destroying people all over, or whether he turns their hearts. He hardened the heart of the Pharaoh 2 or 3 times. God creature was not about free will at all. Does Jesus ever mention free will? Let me look. Does Jesus ever mention free will? Does Jesus? No, you're given a choice, okay? The choice is, listen, Bob, you can stand here with me and suck my dick, or I'm going to push you into that lake of fire. Is that a choice? Is that a choice, Bob? Tell me, is that really a choice? Bob, think about that one. I know you're over there going, let me get my jaws ready, right? Now, you're all brave and bold now, but if it was here and it was real and you had a choice, you'd be like, that's not a fucking choice. It's not a fucking choice. It's a threat. The entire notion of Jesus Christ is a fucking threat. Believe in him or burn in hell forever. That's the whole deal. I don't even remember what I was going to ask the thing now. Does Jesus ever mention free will? I'll tell you what free will is. Jesus never uses never uses the term free will. You have a choice, however, to follow him, of course. Or what? There's not really a choice, though, is it? Is it? Interesting. And the whole free will, let me tell you about what free will is. You know what free will is? Free will is your pastor and your priest's way of getting out of that question, the one they don't like being asked, the one they just can't answer. If your God is so powerful, how come it can't protect the children in its own church from the predator priests? Why can't it? Because it would infringe on that man's free will. Really? That little girl's free will? Fuck that. That man's free will. Now, all of a sudden, though, he's not going to infringe on that man's free will. Yet you're going to go to a prayer meeting tonight, and you're going to pray for Martha to get a job, and you're going to pray that it intervenes in the heart of the hiring manager, so you've effectively prayed for God to affect the free will of somebody else, so your friend could get a job. You ask for it all the time. Everything is an infringement on his free will. A stop sign is an infringement upon your free will. The reason why they come up with that is because your God creature is fucking useless. It's not real. And since it's not real, it can't stop bad things from happening. And since it can't stop bad people from doing bad harm, like, you would think, the excuse of free will, you'd hate to infringe on that horrible rapist, murdering, child-killing bastard's free will, wouldn't you? Oh my. And yet, again, go look throughout the Old Testament. God creature has no care for free will, what fucking soever. He personally comes down and says, do what I say, or he shows himself. You remember, like, the whole people going through the desert where he sent snakes to them because they complained about the food? He literally gave them food every day. And when they complained about it, he sent snakes. Free will? I don't think your God creature gives a shit about free will. Do you remember Jesus Christ? You want to talk about Jesus Christ? What is free will? It is better to go into heaven with one eye. So there's no free will there. You sin in your mind with Jesus. You have no free will. You see, even if you want to do good, you sin. So Christian, I love doing this. It's just so fantastic. I don't think I've ever met a one-eyed Christian, at least for this reason. So Christians in the chat, you got both your eyes. Your eye has never sinned, never caused you to sin. Never once since you've been never once has your eye caused you to sin. So you're going to hell with both your eyes. or are you lying? Now, Jesus is all about, ask me for forgiveness and I'll forgive you. But why didn't he say that there? Why didn't Jesus go, if your eye offends thee, ask me for forgiveness? Is that what he said? No. If your eye offends thee, pluck it out. It is better to go into heaven with one eye than to hell with two. If your hand offends you, what do you do with it? If your hand causes you to sin, what do you do? Do you go to Jesus and you say, Jesus, please forgive me for I have sinned? No, you cut off your fucking hand. That's according to Jesus. Do we have a lot of one-handed Christians out there? Your hand has never caused you to sin. That's funny, isn't it? Well, see, this is interesting. My eyes cause me to sin every day, but I'm covered by the blood. Remember, it was Jesus saying this. Remember? It was Jesus saying this. Two people that had assumed were already his followers, that were already of his blood, man. I mean, you think because you're washed by his blood, you can just do anything? Is that how hideous your morality is? You can just do anything and you're okay by it? What keeps you from just raping and murdering? What keeps Christians from just raping children all the... Oh, no, nothing, apparently, because they do it all the time on the news. Go check it out. Interesting. Do you not understand what a metaphor is? No, I don't know what a metaphor is. I really don't. You know, that's a bunch of shit. The number of people who have maimed themselves because of Jesus's words right there is not zero. It's a number. There's a real number of people who've hurt themselves because of that. You think that's a fucking metaphor? Is there like a little asterisk in every book that tells you, oh, this is a metaphor, this is not a metaphor, this is a simile, this is not a simile, this is real, take this literally, don't take this literally. I don't think there is such a thing, right? So you're just left to subjectively pick and choose what's real. What's not real? Sarcasm rather than engaging honestly. That's the whole deal. You're not honest. You're dishonest. Yeah, that's the whole thing. You're liars. I'm sorry. Did I say it out loud? You lie, you project, you ignore truths. You're in constant denial. You're part of a cult, literally a fucking blood cult. And you don't even know it. Most of you don't even know it. Let me give you an example. Here in my own chat, over here, it says, Matthew Smart says, my eyes cause me to sin every day, but I'm covered by the what? Covered by the blood, washed in the blood of Jesus. You're in a fucking blood cult. You are in a blood cult that worships literally a human sacrifice. Yeah, like indigenous people on an island, and you land on that island, they're going to sacrifice you to their wooden god creatures. Yeah, a human sacrifice. A human sacrifice. You worship a human sacrifice. And what makes it even worse is it's what would be considered the firstborn son. Jesus is the firstborn son of Mary, right? So Jesus is the first breach of the womb. Jesus is a child sacrifice. God sacrificed his own son for you. Not because he had to. He could have literally just forgiven you without doing it. But because he's a piece of shit, he insisted on sacrificing his own son for you. Isn't that weird? You don't even think that's weird at all. Whenever I come back, I will tell you, Christians, my famous robbing a 7-Eleven 10-year-old boy story. You know what I mean? I'll tell you how ignorant, how stupid, and how disgusting the notion of a sacrifice is. It's just hideous, and you just don't even know it. You don't. La, 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 la.
Do you have a loved one who's on their deathbed, but they've yet to give themselves up to the Lord?
Are you sure you don't want to come to Jesus?
No.
This is your final chance.
No. Worried they're headed to the fiery pits of hell.
Your very last chance.
No. I've been wicked and sinful. I deserve to burn in the hot place.
As you wish. Farewell, my heathen husband.
Farewell, my...
Well, fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of post-mortem baptismal kits. No more worries about being miserable alone forever. Be a good Christian and share that eternal pain and suffering with the ones you love.
I'm in hell. Not as hot as I thought it'd be. Kind of feels like Houston, minus the humidity. Hello. My favorite drink crafted to perfection. Ooh, and some dank ass weed.
I can't bear to be down on my face chanting, holy, holy, holy is the Lord, every day, all day, for all eternity, by myself.
Wow, is that George Carlin? And Alan Turing, look at that. Carl say, oh, I am so honored. You've been my hero since I was a kid. Neil deGrasse Tyson, what are you doing here? Oh, I get it. I get it. Schrodinger's heathen. Very cute, you. Very cute. That's fantastic. Oh, what is that? What is... It's holy water. Oh, it burns. No, this isn't where I want to be. Pabst Blue Ribbon and a Marlboro? No!
Father Flanagan's post-mortem baptismal kit. Dead kid tested, Mother Teresa approved.
Is that the Pope and John Paul? Jim Jones and Jimmy Swaggart, huh? I can see that coming. Neil deGrasse, what are you doing? Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord.
Thanks, Father Flanagan.
Damn them to an eternity in heaven for only $59.99. They wouldn't appreciate it, but you'll feel better, and that's the point, isn't it? Get yours now. Your heathen loved one's time is running out.
Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. This is some bullshit. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord.
All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Anani. Thank you for joining us. Let's see here. DCJL says, exactly, Jesus is alive today. Just goes to show you how clueless this man is. Prove it. Prove Jesus is alive today. Give me some solid evidence. You can't. You just absolutely cannot. And that just proves that you're an idiot. You're the clueless one. You're programmed. You've been indoctrinated into a religion. You're the clueless one. I'm trying to show you that. You're just not listening. Can you listen? Again, Jesus is alive today. Can you prove that? Jesus is going to answer your prayers, but ignore all the prayers of the little children that get raped in his own church. Really? And yet, here we go. Let me continue on with this right here. Let me go on to the next person. Soundwave, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I see atheists are fighting and killing each other again over who doesn't believe in any God the most. Oh, no, wait. That never happens. It never does. Thank you, Soundwave, for joining us. Soundwave, Superior, Decepticon, what were they? Constructibots, Inferior. Anyway, from a movie. Let's see. And then the one and only said Jesus came down willingly. Really? He came down willingly. Came down from heaven and was born willingly. That sounds interesting how that might happen. But if you look, Jesus did not sacrifice himself willingly. He hid in the Garden of Gethsemane. He begged his Father, please don't make me go through it. Please don't make me go through it. So he knew it was going to happen. So if he knew it was going to happen, he knew he was also going to be in heaven. So what kind of sacrifice is that? Not a sacrifice. And then whenever they took him to the palace and the priest interrogated him, he lied. He was a coward and he lied. Yeah. Go look up go search. Jesus said he never taught in secret. See, Jesus almost always taught in secret. He either taught in secret or he did things in secret and told people not to tell of it. Go read. You just can't miss it. The parables, the entire purpose of the parables is to teach in secret so other people won't hear.
And whenever interrogated by the priests after being arrested in Gethsemane, when being interrogated, instead of saying instead of going, I am here to sacrifice myself for all of mankind so they can be forgiven by my Father who is me. Instead of doing that, he said, no. I didn't teach anywhere but the temple and the synagogue, and I never taught in secret. Just go ask my followers. They'll tell you. That's what Jesus said. So Jesus lied. Jesus lied. He lied. Jesus lied. Interesting. Let's see here. Matthew Smart says, all we can do is pray for this man's hardened heart to be softened. Wait a second. What the fuck about my free will? What the fuck, dude, about my free will? You're not going to respect my free will. You're going to ask your God to infringe on my free will because it's so infringible. I'm going to pin this up here for you to see. Can you see this? There you go. There you go. I wish I could pin it so just stay up there so all these people could see that you said this ignorant thing. See, I am a little bit of a jerk. Yeah, I get the right to be, though, I feel. Look at what's happening. Look at what these things say. Look, these things. Look at the things these people say. I don't generally tend to refer you people as things, not on purpose anyway. Let's see, the one and only. It's up to you to accept the blessing. We will still pray anyways. Bless you. Really? Why would you pray for me if I don't want you to? Why would I want you to? Your God's fucking hideous. Have you not read your Bible? Oh no, you haven't read your Bible. You'd be the ones like, I read every word of the Bible. You really didn't. Let's see. Saint says, meaningless comment. Say something of substance. No. It's my show. God doesn't force you. It's your choice. Relax, says Mark. Oh, really? That's right. God doesn't force you. He gives you a choice through thousands of years of miscommunication, translation, all this other bullshit. And the thing that's on the line is something more important than all the gold, all the money in the world. It's your eternal soul forever. Forever. And the whole deal is they're told you to believe all this nonsense bullshit or your whole soul forever. Or you're going to burn in hell forever. Wow. That's a choice. Let me ask you, Martin, if you were to come over here and I were to tell you that I have a unicorn living upstairs and I have a pit of fire in the back, and if you don't believe me when I say I have a unicorn living upstairs, since you don't believe me, I'm going to burn you in the pit of fire. Does any of that make sense to you? You should use more analogies. They're good. And you get to say the word anal. God don't force you. No, it's not a force, is it? It's not a choice either. Let's see here. Scott, good morning, Scott. Studies show prayers. You know, the whole thing about prayers, man, here's the deal. That's awesome. You have a tattoo of a unicorn. That's awesome. I wrote a book. And, you know, you can buy it on Amazon. It's called Atheist by Chris Mallor, and why you should be too. And in that book, and you can have a smart person read it too if you want, I talk about prayer and about the efficacy of prayer. And I'll give you a quick analogy. I'll say it again about prayer. So what we can do is we'll take your church. We'll go down to your church, whoever this person is talking about prayer. We'll go down to your church and we'll get a whole bunch of people from your church, however many it needs, you know, and we'll fill a hospital full of those people, and we'll fill a hospital full of regular doctors and stuff. And what we'll do is we'll send people who are mortally ill, who, if they do not get care of one fashion or another, they will pass into both hospitals. And oddly enough, can you guess which hospital will have the higher success rate? Could you guess? And if you're thinking that your hospital with prayer people would have a higher success rate than the people in doing the science medicine, why don't they just, like when somebody's in a car accident, why don't they rush them down to your church? Why is that? Why aren't they rushed to your church to be healed? Why is that? But you know what you would say, what the Christian or what the theist would say was obviously that was the wrong church. So after some testing and a lot of lives lost, we'd have to do another hospital on this side. It'd be like the Mormons. And we said all they could do is pray to their God creature. And then another church. And, you know, we just go through all the religions. Millions of people will probably be killed just experimenting. And I bet you not a single one of those prayer-based hospitals would beat that science-based hospital. And if it could, why aren't they already there? Jesus said, if you gather in my name and ask for it from the Father in my name, it'll be done. Why don't we have Christians? Why don't you go around hospital bed to hospital bed healing people? Why not? Why doesn't that happen? Jesus said it's possible. Jesus said that if you have faith in me, in the Father, you can do anything. You can do the same miracles and even more that I've done. How many of you Christians are out there raising people from the dead? Have you used spit and dirt lately to heal a person from blindness? Interesting. Funny how that works. Yeah, he was talking to the disciples. Yeah, that's right. It's true. He was talking to the disciples. And I'm sorry, the power of faith was only limited to those people in the room with him? Is that what you're saying? Was there some sort of official stamp or seal maybe they put on the back of their hands that said only these people? And remember, if you read the Bible, the New Testament, the disciples are fucking idiots. Go read. My favorite example, one of my favorite examples is Mark, as is chapter 6, you know, when they feed the thousands, they feed 5,000 people. It was just miracle. Jesus' miracle. Then they get on a boat with Jesus and they only have one loaf of bread. And they're like, oh, we only have one loaf of bread. How are we going to ever survive? And Jesus is like, you fucking idiots. I just fed 5,000 people. You yourself picked up the baskets with the food when we were done. These guys were fucking idiots. Even the Bible tells me so. Yeah. I think that's a great excuse, though, on your part. It is. Let me go here. There's lots of, I want to say, apologies. Christians have a lot of apologies. Excuses. Good morning, finest plugins. Let's see. Down with the tyranny? Yes, down with the tyranny. Got to be careful nowadays what you're reading. I'm in a play called Julius Caesar, and it's about tyranny, and it just kind of brought that to mind. Let's see. I'm just curious, though. You know, I mean, these people in here, they talk about the prayers. Again, your prayers have no power, Martin. If they had power, you'd be using them. People would be using them. You know, really, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just don't see how you can't. Well, I don't know. It frustrates me that people can go so long and be so intelligent and pray, you know, and go, oh yeah, you know, when something good happens, I'll give it to God. You know, but remember we talked about earlier that job, so we pray, oh, please have that hiring manager change his heart so he can hire us over, right? But how many times did y'all pray for that and it didn't happen? Right? You don't really count that. You don't talk about this is her 57th interview. You know, and she's been delivering, you know, don't count all that. Oh, God is good. Yay. You know, again, man, I tell you, if you even yourself said your prayers are, you know, you're surprised how often the weirdest coincidences from your prayers. Yeah. Keyword being coincidences. See, I knew you could do it. Let's go here. I want to do this.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh no, the Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall smite thee.
What do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning goat flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, light a candle or you're going to hell.
All right, I want to kind of mention here, Saint CO5 says, the Bible combined with the writings of Roman scholars and historians have been proven to be trustworthy historical sources. No, they have not. You're wrong. You're either wrong or you're lying. See, the earliest books of the Bible were written by Paul, and that was like 40 or 50 years after Jesus, something like that, 30 years, there were decades. These by Paul, by somebody who never met Jesus, who allegedly at best spent 2 weeks with Peter at best. And decades later, wrote a book about it, started writing stuff. So there's no contemporary evidence. There's nobody who lived at the time of Jesus who was not a follower of Jesus who said, hey, this guy was here. And yes, we do have proof of Julius Caesar. True, the histories of Julius Caesar weren't written for a couple hundred years after him or 100 years after him. However, other people at the time were like, dude, that fucking Julius Caesar came through and he killed a whole bunch of people. Julius Caesar himself wrote his own book. Jesus didn't write a book. Nobody at Jesus's time wrote down that he was there, despite the thousands and thousands and thousands of people who must have surely come to see him teach and pray. When you go read the book of Mark, all the people from Judea came, all the people from the countryside came, all the people from this city came, just go listen to it. The streets were so busy they had to dig through a ceiling of and yet nobody wrote nothing down. Oh yeah, Tacitus, that's right, Josephus and Tacitus, but neither one of those people were born for 30 to 50 years after Jesus died. No contemporary evidence, none, zero. So yeah, and you can't, just go look for yourself. Don't trust me, go look for yourself. Cold Nothing, I got a good answer for you. Cold Nothing asked the question, God is all some people have, why would you want to take that away? Well, first of all, if that's all someone has, they need help. They need to reach out to people, they need help. They're in a bad way. If their imaginary friend is the only thing they've got going for them, the only thing they have, yeah, somebody needs to help that person. Obviously, the God creature isn't going to, or they wouldn't have gotten in that situation, right? Anyway, however, here's one of the reasons why I would want to take that away from you. I like using the little old lady example. Oh, and I forgot to give you my 10-year-old sacrifice example. Let me write that down. 10-year-old sacrifice. Okay. So here's the deal. Here's a little old lady over here. She's got a year or two left, maybe top. She may even be on her deathbed. And she's praying to Jesus every day. Would I rob her of that religion? Now, there was a time when I would have said no. Obviously not. There's no way I would rob her from that little comfort blanket that she's got, right? Right? Even now, I still wouldn't. The only thing is, can she still vote? Can she still vote? Is she going to go down based on her little God creature and vote for somebody like Trump because she believes he's going to end abortion and save the babies? Is she going to go down and vote for somebody that she believes is going to put the 10 Commandments in schools? Is she going to go down and vote for somebody that she believes is going to overturn gay marriage because she doesn't like the gays because it's against her religion? If anything similar to that is a yes, then I'm going to say, yeah, let's rip that religion away from her. It's a hateful religion. She doesn't need to have it. It's not a comfort. It stops being a comfort blanket when you start using it to beat other people with. And so there's that line. That's why I would want to take that away from them. Yeah, if they're going to hurt somebody else with it, absolutely. Now, if they're not, then I don't really care, do I? Why would I? I don't care. I don't sit around caring about people who ain't hurting other people, generally. And yes, Saint Seal 5 says, a shitty skit again? Indeed. Indeed. Thank you. I appreciate the recognition. Somebody called me a third-rate hack. I'm like, yes, finally worked my way up to a third-rate hack. You can't hurt me. I've seen what you cheer for. Your opinion means nothing. Matthew Smart said, even when bad things happen, I praise him and he answers prayers in his time because he knows better than I do. See, that's exactly what somebody who is programming you would want you to believe on faith. When your God creature doesn't answer you because it's not there. I mean, read what you say. Read what you say. Anyway, yeah, so I would absolutely rob that from them. So I wouldn't want to, but I would if they're going to hurt somebody with it. Matthew Smart, man, with the Jesus loves you bullshit. Jesus doesn't fucking love me, dude. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Jesus loves you, but he's going to burn you in a pit of fire if you don't love him back. He's gonna send you up for eternal torment, whether it be a pit of fire or whatever you as a Christian think, if you don't love him back. And you can do that. You can just, I love Jesus all of a sudden today. You can do that. But Jesus knows your mind. He knows as if you sin in your, it's just a bunch of shit. It's just a bunch of shit. Atheist JLF, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully one of the things, though, is that if you do ever get free of it, you'll see how harmful it is. Oftentimes people, I'm just some angry atheist on the internet. That's what you see. I'm some jackass on the internet, right? Well, but me and people like me aren't angry just to be angry. We're angry because people impose their bullshit on us. We're tired of Christians imposing their bullshit on us. And that's why we're angry. And you're mad at us for being angry. It's like raping someone, and then whenever they cry out for help, being insulted. Oh my God, I can't believe you just did that. Stop. You know, you just don't see that though, because you're the Christian. You know, oh no, Christianity is good. They're good. We don't mean to hurt anybody. And then you get into office and you use your religion to ban all trans people from the military, and those people lose lifetime careers because of your hateful religion. But it wasn't you, right? Those aren't real Christians, right? The great religion of atheism, Tanner Jack. Yeah, actually, if you want to call it that, if you're going to insist, you're welcome to continue calling it that if you want. Yep. Which religion has a higher kill count? Tanner Jack. All right. We won't even have to do that. Which religion between atheism and just any one individual denomination of your religions has a higher kill count? Oh, man. It's a religion. Just look at yourself, please. I really don't care what you think it is. Do you know what? See, Christianity and other religions are really kind of the definition of the word, aren't they? I mean, I am a left-wing liberal. I'm a left-wing liberal atheist activist. I'm an activist. So yeah, I come out here and talk about it, but not all atheists are. I mean, to be an atheist isn't to be a part of a group on purpose. You just don't believe. You just don't. That's it. You are an atheist about Zeus. You're an atheist about Quetzalcoatl. You're an atheist about a million Hindu gods, right? You don't believe in them. So are you in some kind of group? Do you gather around with other people who don't believe in the Hindu gods and go, yay, I don't believe in the Hindu gods? Is that how it works? I mean, really, if it weren't for the fact that Christianity is forced on people here and hurting people, I wouldn't even be doing this. I got other shit to do. I do. I know you don't think I do, but I do. It's just that I have been compelled. It's the one voice I have because you people hurt. You hurt so many people, and you smile when you do it. A perfect example would be the hideous, disgusting nature of Christianity is this. How many of you Christians are waiting for the end time to come, waiting for Jesus to come? You're eager. You're just waiting for Jesus to come back for revelation. You're just, come on back, Jesus. Any day it could happen. Any day it could happen. And you're just smiling. What happens on that day, though? Yeah, your selfish ass, you may get to go to heaven. But on that day, God's servants and Jesus and his angels come down and begin slaughtering billions of people over, I think, like a 7-year period, if I remember right in the Bible. You're like, oh, yes, make this happen. For you, it's good. But for billions of other people, they're just going to be slaughtered. Actually, according to Jesus, they're going to be placed into furnaces and burned. Matthew 13. Interesting. Let me go here. All right, so I did make a note earlier. I gave you the example of the little old lady, of why I would or would not rob her of her religion given the opportunity. Let me give you another example about the hideous nature of what a sacrifice is. Okay. If you're new to the channel, you may find this interesting. So in the old days, before Jesus, we'll start there. I'm a bad Chris. I stole somebody else's goat. Okay. So I'm a bad person. I did a thieving. So rather than returning the goat to that person or any of that business, what I have to do is, in order to absolve myself of that sin, I have done wrong. I am objectively, admittedly, a bad person. I've done something wrong. And in order to get my sin taken off of me, I have to go hurt something innocent. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So I stole my neighbor's goat, and it was bad that I did that, but we ate the goat and it was wonderful and delicious, but I feel like I'm a bad person, so now in order to get the sin off of me, I have to go get a cow, and I have to go sacrifice the cow to God. So I'm a bad person. I have done wrong, but in order to absolve me of that sin, I have to go hurt something. Does that make sense? I have to go be even more, by our standards, right? Even more of a bad person, right? So the dude over there, he did a bad thing, and then to make himself feel bad about it, he went and hurt a little animal. That's literally what sacrificing is. So let's take that one step further. You, if you're Christians, you worship a human sacrifice. You do. God actually sacrificed Jesus to himself for you, because there's some God over God that says, hey man, you got to do this. You can't just forgive them. You gotta do this thing, right? So let me use the analogy here of what you're talking about. Now I'll be brief because some of my fans have seen this already. You get tired of it, I'm sure. But here's the deal. All right, so I went down last week and I robbed a 7-Eleven. Not really. I don't know if we even have 7-Elevens. I drive an electric car, so I haven't been to a fuel station in a long time. But I went down and I robbed someplace. So I've done wrong. Is that right, Christians? I've done wrong. I've gone down, I broke the law, and I've stolen something from somebody. I've sinned. Even in God's, I've sinned. So now, a week later, I've been feeling bad about it. The sin is gnawing at me. I've been a bad person. I stole that stuff, and God is going to be angry with me for robbing that store. So in order to make myself feel better about it, I go in the bedroom, and I get my little 10-year-old son, and I come out here and I bring him out here in front of the altar, and I unalive him in front of the altar, and I catch his blood in the bowl, and I sprinkle some of it on the altar, and I sprinkle some of it on myself. And now I'm washed clean by the blood of my son. Would that not be disgusting to you? If you read that in the news, would you go, oh my God, that's just disgusting? That's what you describe with Jesus? Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's up the stakes a little bit. Let me show you the truly disgusting nature of sacrifice as we go on. So So I was wrong. I lied to you. I did lie because I'm a bad person. I'm a sinner. I'm going to burn in hell or some business. When I robbed the place, I also unalived a guard while I was there. So it wasn't just, robbing the place. It was a bigger sin than that. So now, work with me here, my friends. Christian friends, this has got to make sense to you, right? This has to be perfectly moral to you, right? So now, because it wasn't just a robbing, it was also a murder. Now the 10-year-old son will not do. It's not do. I mean, he's seen like TV. He's heard bad words or something. He's not pure enough. It would make sense to you. I need an even more pure sacrifice. Jesus, pure, innocent, the lamb, white and innocent. That makes sense. So now, my 10-year-old won't do. Now I got to go into the other room and I got to get the 3-year-olds. Now we're going to unalive the 3-year-old because the 3-year-old truly is innocent. And that will make me absolved of my sins. Right, Christians? So if you heard in the news tomorrow that a man had done something wrong and he had gone down and had unalived his own son to make up for the wrong that he had done, you would be like, yay! Would you go down like maybe start a GoFundMe for him or something? Is that what you would do? For the Lord so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Like he couldn't do it without it, though. Like he couldn't do it. There's a bigger God above him that'd like smack him like a dog with a rolled up newspaper if he didn't demand a human sacrifice. You worship a human sacrifice. You worship the first breach of the womb human sacrifice. That's a child sacrifice. Christians, you guys are sick. It's a blood cult, and you don't even fucking know it. What do you say to these people, man? What to say? Let's sing a song.
Mi burrito es tan bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco bueno, bueno, it stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister, now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
In my new bot program, which is a streamer bot, I actually gave him his non sequitur and Kalasia exempt status. It's just a bitch. And you're still there. So it just threatens, like, you have been permanently abandoned. You're still there. It has no teeth, apparently, at least for you guys. So that's good. I am the Son of Man. Says Jesus Christ is LGBTQ plus, and so is God. I would think so. I would agree with you on that. When I was a Christian, I thought so. Also, if I were to postulate that religion and go, if that creature exists, would it be thus? I would think so. I would. I think your name is interesting. I am the Son of Man. Here's my thoughts on this. I'll be nice. When Ezekiel was talking to God, Ezekiel was called by God the Son of Man all the time. Son of Man, pick up that phone. Son of Man, hang up the phone. Son of Man, why did you pick up the phone? All the time. Jesus taught from these books. In order to be seen as a prophet, because he was trying to be a prophet, Jesus called himself Son of Man. Or at least the authors of the books of the Bible, the Gospels, call him Son of Man. Say he called himself the Son of Man, like you call yourself the Son of Man. So Jesus referred to himself as the Son of Man so he could try to fulfill the shoes of a prophet, because that's what God used to call. So essentially what you're doing by naming yourself that, you're doing the same thing Jesus was trying to do when Jesus was naming himself that, trying to be something he wasn't. Interesting. Fun stuff for the whole family. The one and only, I appreciate you. I've got to say, Blue Ocean 5, yes, I made it. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm glad you liked it. Hi, Kalasia. Good morning. Swifter 241 says he is risen. He's really not, man. I got to say, you've been waiting 2,000 years, or like 80 generations of people have come and gone waiting for him risen to come, and he still ain't risen. Still no power there. Still doesn't do anything. Still doesn't come in and swoop and get rid of all the bad people. Still doesn't do it. Powerless. He's not risen. Anyway, the one and only says two things that are just really just kind of dumb. I'm going to put them together for you, my friends. One of them says, the first one, in fact, says, God never approved of human sacrifice. I just have to sit with that one for a minute. God never approved of him. If you will go to destroyingchristianity.com, you will see a very shitty website I'm building, and there's actually a section called Sacrificed. Let me continue, though, on our friend's comments. God never approved of human sacrifice. Comment 1. Comment 2. He willingly sacrificed himself. Right? I mean, do you not see your flaw in your own logic? Just in those two sentences. Seconds apart. It's stunning. I'd be interested to visit with your therapist and see what they have to say. Anyway, let me show you a few things. First of all, God never approved of human sacrifice. Jesus is a human sacrifice. Is he not? So you're wrong. That's one huge big, oh my God, it's wrong. You're so wrong. There's a number of times throughout the Bible where God creature actually asks for them to give their firstborn sons. Give me your firstborn sons after 8 days. Exodus 13 and 26. There are times where other kings, in Moab, I think, the king of Moab was losing a war against the Israelites, ancient Hebrews, whoever they were at the time, who were under God was with them. But the Moab guy sacrificed his son to his God, and that turned the tide of the battle. It's like, and of course, you know about Jephthah and Jephthah's daughter, right? Anybody need to explain that one to you? Then we've got Abraham. Do you remember Abraham, who was going to sacrifice his son, but he stopped at the last minute? Why did Abraham think that was kind of normal up to that point? Darwin, you take care. Let's see here. I know that damn bot's out of control. Let's see. Atheist. Mary hid Jesus in Egypt as a baby for no reason. That proof that mentality, this mental disability is very common in the Christ family. Good morning, Jill Sam. Thank you for throwing coin at me. $10. Says, thanks for applying a bit of critical thinking. I don't know if I've ever been accused of that before. Sorry, thank you, Geos. Geo Sam says, thank you for applying a bit of critical thinking to this God, because we all know they won't. No God, no masters. I know, I appreciate it. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I know, a lot of them, it's that they were programmed, indoctrinated as children to believe things that are horrific are good. To believe that somebody gave their life for somebody is noble. That's great, right? But under the circumstances when they gave their life to protect everybody from themselves, it's like a guy who, Bob gave his life. He threw himself on the grenade and died for everybody there. But who threw the grenade? It was fucking Bob, someone who threw the grenade. So why do we give Bob credit for jumping on the grenade to save us from Bob? Interesting. Yes, so thank you for the super chat. That Opal guy says, you've been banned so many times here, you'll be banned in the afterlife. Miss Non Sequitur, I think, I don't know, the bot probably stalks her when the show's over, just for some reason. Cody Danger, to be just and the justifier. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Cardinal Win 62. Had no idea we came in different levels. Tell us more. Oh, I want to know what's going on. I want the tea. I want the tea. Good morning, new people that I've never met before. Cody Danger says, oh, you are the low-level atheist. Yes, yes, indeed, I'm the low-level atheist. I am. I'll admit it. True. Here's the deal, though. I mean, there are smart atheists out there, you know, like Matt Dillahunty. You want to go call him? Go call him. He'll probably light you up. There's other Kelly Laughlin. Kelly Laughlin's pretty sharp. There's other atheists you can go out there and you can call. They're smart atheists. I'm not a smart atheist. Seth is a good smart atheist. But I'm not here to be a smart atheist. I'm not here to defend evolution or science. I talk about it. I will defend it, but I'm not here for that purpose. My purpose is to show you how ridiculous and ignorant your religion is and how hurtful it is. And so what I usually do is I usually pull straight from the Bible to show you that the things you think about your religion are false. You think Jesus is a loving lamb, meek and mild, all about forgiveness, but everything Jesus said was a threat. Everything. It was a threat. Seek the Father through me. Or what? Or what? Right? Everything Jesus did was a threat. Jesus broke up family. I mean, the whole ball of wax. It's just, let me see here. Catching up. Trying to catch up anyway. American, good morning. American Patriot for Freedom. I'm thinking right-winger Trump supporter. I'm thinking, if I had to guess. Jesus was warning people, not threatening people. No. Here's the deal. Let me give you an example. Hey, the one and only one. There's a fire coming. You got to get out of the way. That's a warning. Or, hey, the one and only, I'm going to burn you with fire if you don't do what I say. That's a threat. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? Can you absorb the difference? Right. And of course, this is coming from the same person who says God never approved of human sacrifice. God was all about human sacrifice. Again, dude, Jesus was a human fucking sacrifice. How dumb can you possibly be? I don't know, but you seem to be challenging the limits right here in my chat. Why am I the jackass for pointing it out? I don't make you say stupid shit. I just say, hey, look, you said stupid shit. Angry, you insult people. Well, stop saying stupid shit. Let's see. Witness. Good morning, Witness. Hey, the one and only says, and you really, man, you just got to keep, you really have to stop proving my point for me. But you can't, I don't think. The one and only says God saves, if you ask. Saves from what? Saves from who? From God, right? Right. I just don't know how you can't see that as an abusive relationship. It's like me going, I'm the father. I'm going to save you from me by hurting you. You have to ask me, though, to not hurt you. And if you ask me right, then I will not hurt you. Interesting. Witness 4312 says, Jesus is my everything. I have no need for or want for anything. I really hope you can get some help. You know, find a friend. You know, get out there. You know, maybe some therapy. I'm just saying. Let's see here. Zorcross, I am the Son of Man. Jesus is not sending any of you to hell. I lived, I died, and resurrected for the sins of the world. Everyone gets to go to heaven. Right. Okay. So now everybody gets to go to heaven. So there's no divine punishment. Everybody can sin and do whatever they want to. Who's more moral? I can go down, if I'm a Christian, I can just go down and rape, murder, kill. Doesn't matter. I don't have to do anything, right? Right? That's what you just said. All you got to do is go, I mean, really, you technically don't even have to go ask your imaginary friend for forgiveness. They already bled for your forgiveness 2,000 years ago. So now you can just do anything you want to, right? Can't you? And you, I mean, I don't know what keeps you people in check at all. Really? Well, obviously, based on the news headlines, nothing. All right, guys, let me read my super chats here, and I am hope to save the world. You guys have been fantastical. Thank you all for joining us. Matthew Smart was banned from the channel. Enjoyer of Spinach was banned from the channel. I don't know why it tells me that. I know I can go undo it, but you ever see someone coming? I don't know why. It doesn't matter color, race, anything. Doesn't have to do with nothing with that. You see someone coming, and the first thought that comes to your mind is, I can learn nothing from this person. There's nothing this person can give me that will not bring me down. And so why would I unban them? Just, Geo Sam, thank you for the $10 super chat. Thanks for applying a bit of critical thinking to this God creature, because we all know they won't. No God, no masters. So thank you for that. You know, I do often, I want to say this before I go. Yeah, I can come off pretty hot sometimes. Someone will come in here and they'll ask a legitimate question, and I'll be like, blah, 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 and I'll go off. But, you know, and then we're like, you know, I'm sorry, man. I don't even know you. I don't even know what side you're on. I just answered that question, you know. And I'm like, okay. So I try not to be too much of a jerk too often. But sometimes, man, you know, friends, sometimes. One of the things that gets me is the things when the believers think that the Jesus creature literally talks to them and does things for them. And I just feel like that's such a narcissistic, painfully narcissistic move. The God creature of the entire universe that created 2 trillion new galaxies and all that. It's the ear over the world, its ear that it listens over the world, skips by all the terrified prayers of the little children that are getting raped by its own priests, and it hones in on your house, at your room, and listens to what you have to say, and wants to hear your words. Really? How fucking special are you? I've even said before, wow, we're lucky to have you in our chat. Thank you, Kalasia, for the $5 super sticker. That is awesome. I appreciate you. I've pushed myself, if you will, a little to the fringes more, I guess, of the atheist community. Rather than just being some funny guy, I'm openly now attacking the religion, and I'm surprised that some of the more mainstream people even still talk to me. And I only say that because Kalasia is like with all the mainstream people, they're everywhere, and it's just, hey, they still like me. I haven't fucked up too bad. Thank you. Guys, I'm off to save the world. Tomorrow's Friday. I hope you all have lots of sinning and blaspheming to get done, and you're not just sitting around disappointing Satan. Satan's like, those folks should be up here blaspheming. I think what I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to play you a funny, and then I'm just going to close out the show. Let's do this one here. Do you have an atheist friend or family member who's a good person and you don't want to see them end up in hell? But now they're on their deathbed. Time is running out. They've been there for you, and now you want to be there for them. But how can you save them from your all-loving, forgiving God and its eternal lake of fire? Well, fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of atheist deathbed conversion Bibles. No more worries of loved ones meeting their resolution without absolution. Now you too can force your faith on the weak and helpless in their final moments. Father Flanagan's line of atheist deathbed conversion Bibles are designed specifically for the weak and infirmed. Extra large type for failing eyes seeing their last. Deluxe editions come complete with a post-mortem Mother Teresa would have approved baptismal kit. Also available in heathen and heretic versions. Father Flanagan's line of atheist deathbed conversion Bibles. Coming to a Walmart near you.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Confession booths, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goat's the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink,